Many years, home care services have allowed people to receive care at home rather than in hospital or long-term care facility. Nainesh Kotak, founder of Kotak Personal Injury Law, joins us today with some information on how these PSWs, personal service workers, stay safe during this pandemic. Nainesh, great to see you again. Great to have you on the show. Are you hearing from many PSWs right now?
Yes, in fact, from a personal standpoint, my parents were looked after PSWs, in fact, before they passed, but and also, in the community, in the general community as well. There is recognition needs to be given to certainly to the PSWs who have worked so hard during the pandemic. They've really put themselves in harm's way. They've done God's work, really up until they were doing this job until vaccines became available. And one of the issues that's arising now is vaccine hesitancy among some PSWs, and I think it's declining. But there was a survey back in January which looked at around 40 to 49% were either hesitant, didn't want it regulated, for example. And this is obviously going to present problems. It has presented issues to vulnerable members of the community who are at home, elderly or people who have had surgery, for example, who are quite vulnerable if they do, in fact, contract COVID. So the provincial government is talking about, and they've already set the framework for this legislation, really to regulate PSWs in a similar manner as other healthcare workers are regulated. And it's not specifically designed to force them to take vaccines because, that might be a drastic step to actually legislate that. I believe it's more to set standards and to also provide protections for PSWs and also the vulnerable members of society who the PSWs actually have to go and visit and treat.
Because what does happen if a PSW were to pass COVID on to their patients?
It has happened, in fact. I believe a few weeks ago, we heard about it in the news. There was a 99-year-old woman, and she, in fact, contracted COVID from a PSW who had been offered the vaccine early on, because we know as healthcare workers they were offered quite early, but simply refused to take it and actually passed it on. So first of all, you're dealing with unfortunate social consequences. Is there a potential liability? I suppose so, if causation can be proven that the COVID was contracted from a specific PSW and that could have been avoided had they been vaccinated. There is an argument to be made that there is could be potential liability. Would hope it would never come to that, and as a society we can sort of look at maybe what are the reasons people are being hesitant to take vaccines. Can there be more education surrounded to really convince people that it in fact is the right thing to do.
We only have 30 seconds left, Nainesh. Is it transparency from the PSW going into these homes to be sure that they're protected and safe?
I think so, and I think as individuals or relatives of people who are actually need that help, certainly should make that request. If you feel more comfortable of having a vaccinated PSW come to your home, then certainly make that request, whether it's to the LHINs or if it's a private agency. I would suggest making that request if that's gonna give you certainly a more peace of mind.
Nainesh Kotak, great to have you back on the show. Always with some good information from Kotak Personal Injury Law.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Taking a break. More on Morning Live coming up on your Wednesday after this.